Hi, welcome to Rob on Holiday, and today we're doing Disneyland Paris 101. So that means we're going to give a basic guide if you've never been to Disneyland Paris. How do you get here? What are the best attractions? Where should you stay? And a few other handy hints as well. So keep watching if you want to know all about Disneyland Paris. The first thing we're going to cover is how to get to Disneyland Paris from the UK. So you've got three major ways. You've got via airplane, via train, or via the car. Or road, you may come on a bus with a tour company, I don't know. We can't really cover that because we haven't done that, but I'm sure there are plenty of options for getting here by road. Now, one of the ways you can get here is by rail. Under normal times, you can get a direct Eurostar that runs from London, stops at a couple of stations in Kent, and then comes all the way direct to Disneyland. You can see the station just behind me here. That's how close the station at Marne-le-Vallée is to Disneyland Paris. Now, because of coronavirus, Eurostar are not running the direct trains at the moment. So your best option is get the Eurostar from London into the centre of Paris, and then you'll have to get a local train out of Paris to Marne-le-Vallée station. Doesn't take long on the train, and like I say, the station's right here. And of course, the way we've come this time is via airplane. We've flown from Manchester to Paris Charles de Gaulle on the EasyJet, which takes an hour. And then there are plenty of options for getting from the Charles de Gaulle airport to here. We took a taxi because there are four of us, so it's just as cheap to get a taxi. It costs us about 80 euros from Charles de Gaulle airport to Disneyland Paris. Now, if there's one or two of you, then it may be more cost efficient to get one of the trains that run from Charles de Gaulle again to Marne-le-Vallée station here. I think they run all day, but depending on when you arrive, you may have to wait 15, 20 minutes, half an hour for the train. But once you get on the train, I think it's only about 10 minutes and 20 euros each, I believe. So, like I say, there's plenty of ways of getting here, and it's not very far from the UK. So if you want to stay on site at Disneyland Paris, which is a great option because you've got bus transport to the park, and all 6 hotels are walkable to the park. Starting with the Disneyland Hotel, which is the most expensive, currently closed at the moment, probably not open for another year or two. But that's right at the park, and the great advantage there is you can step out of the hotel and you're into the park. It's based on a Victorian style, very grand inside. The next 3 hotels, the New York, you can see there, it's now called the New York Hotel The Art of Marvel because it's recently been refurbished and given a Marvel theme. Really close to walk to Disney Village, very nice rooms inside, lots of good facilities including swimming pool. And then you're into the moderate range. There are 2 hotels, the Sequoia Lodge just across there, currently closed, due to reopen on December the 1st, based on kind of woodland lodges you find in Sequoia National Park in California. And then you can just see a bit of it through the trees there. Newport Bay, we've stayed there a couple of times. That's got a feel like in the northeastern coast of America, you know, around Cape Cod, that kind of feel. And then further out down a path, they're about 20 minutes walk from the park, you've got the Cheyenne Hotel, which is where we're staying this time. That's really nice. It's based on a Wild West theme with all the buildings around a main street. And they've got a Starbucks on site. And it's true of the Santa Fe as well. That's the cheapest option. It's more like a motel kind of feel. That's about 20-minute walk. Santa Fe is based on a kind of West American desert kind of theme. But wherever you decide to stay, you've got the advantages of getting the bus, getting into the parks an hour early during magic hours. So I'd definitely check out all the options, and wherever you choose, you're going to have a great time at Disneyland Paris. If you book a package through Disneyland Paris, you get your hotel accommodation and your park tickets all in one, and this is your magic pass. Very important because this is a room key to get you into the room, and it's also your ticket to get you in and out of the park, and you have to show it at certain points, like for example extra magic hours. The park's open an hour early for hotel guests, and you have to show this to get through the security at the front, so make sure you look after it. So now on Disneyland 101, we're going to do an introduction to the main park here at Disneyland Paris. We're standing at the side of the central hub near Sleeping Beauty's castle, but around that it's separated into 5 lands. First of all, where you come in, you've got Main Street, which is like an old turn-of-the-century American street with lots of shops and places where you can get cookies and things from. Then off to one side is Discoveryland. That's where you get all your technology-based rides such as Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin and Star Tours. Off to the other side we've got Frontierland, which is based on a Wild West theme. It's got two big attractions there, Big Thunder Mountain and Phantom Manor. Next to Frontierland is Adventureland. There's a lot of green, rockery and greenery there. There you'll find Pirates of the Caribbean is the main attraction, but a lot of it's walk-through areas. And then of course you've got Fantasyland, which is where all the little kids love it. You've got all the fairy tale rides just behind the castle. You've got Snow White, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, It's a Small World, Dumbo, Alice's Maze. So as you can see, they packed a lot in. It's all very well themed, all the different lands, and you know, it's a good idea to have a good where everything is before you come and get, so you've got your navigation sorted out before you arrive. This is the Walt Disney Studios Park. Now, being honest, there's only about 3 big rides that are worth doing here at the moment. You've got Ratatouille, Crush's Coaster and the Hollywood Tower of Terror. Now, of course, this is a place where there's going to be big expansion in the next 4 or 5 years. Next year you've got the Marvel Land coming, and the year after or the year after that, I can't remember, you've got Frozen Land. And then about 4 or 5 years, you've got a Star Wars expansion as well. There's going to be a lake. All those 3 new areas are going to be around a lake at the back of the park, and it's going to be buzzing then. But I'll say, at the moment, it does feel like there's not much to do in comparison to the main Magic Kingdom park, or Disneyland Paris park, I should say. This is Disney Village. You're going to think it's quite small if you've been to the Disney Springs in Walt Disney World in Florida. But having said that, there are plenty of places where you can eat and get drinks, like Starbucks behind us here, Rainforest Cafe, a few other shops, Disney fashion shops, little carts where you can get snacks, and looks nice at night. Okay, let's talk about some of the best attractions in Disneyland Paris. We're filming this here in Frontierland in the Magic Kingdom Park because 2 of our favourite attractions are here. Big Thunder Mountain, the fast train ride you can see behind me, and Phantom Manor, which is basically the Disney's version of the Haunted House. Definitely 2 of the best attractions. Elsewhere in this park you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, which is a great ride, and also Star Tours, which is a combined simulator and 3D film. They're some of the favourites. Now, there are a couple of rides in this park that I don't like for various reasons, but are obviously headline attractions, and they are Space Mountain and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril. The reason I don't go on them is because I don't really like inverted roller coasters. It messes with my head. So, you know, some people will love them, some of you will probably be the same as me and avoid them. It's also probably worth talking about some of the attractions that are great for little kids, and certainly here in Disneyland Paris' main park, you're talking about Peter Pan, It's a Small World, Casey Jr.'s Circus Train. They're all in the Fantasyland area. Now we'll switch over to Walt Disney Studios Park. There are really great rides in there. Our favourite is Ratatouille. Great ride based on the film, and it's also uses a trackless ride system where you're riding rats, cars of the shape of rats that just pull in without a track, just across the floor. And again, that uses 3D film technology and takes you through Remy's journey through the restaurant. Really worth doing that. And there's the other ride in there, again, not one I go on because I'm not very good with fast spinning things either. Crush's Coaster, based on the Finding Nemo film. So there's definitely plenty to keep you going. Lots of little attractions and some major headliners as well. So what are your dining options here at Disneyland Paris? Well, there are basically 3 categories. If we start at level 1, which is the snacks, you can buy cookies and tortillas and various snacks at loads of places throughout both of the parks. Secondly, you have your quick service option, like for example Hakuna Matata behind me, where you can get a kebab from there, but a lot of places do burgers and pizzas and your typical fast food kind of places. And then you've also got sit-down restaurants where you have to make sure you book ahead of time, and there are quite a few of those through the various lands. Now, I can only, in recent visits, can only comment on the quick service option because of COVID, we've decided we like to eat outside. And 2 of our favourites are the Cowboy Cookout and Colonel Harty's. Cowboy Cookout is like a big cowboy country music barn where you can get ribs, sausages, chicken, barbecued things. And pizzas, Colonel Harty's Pizza Outpost, which is just across the river from me here. and they do a really nice pizza, and you can also get rigatoni and lasagna, and you get sides like garlic bread. The thing we like about Colonel Harty's is it's a great big place, very atmospheric, lots of decoration based on the Jungle Book and general adventurers and explorers club kind of decor. But also it's got a massive terrace on the outside where you can sit outside to have your meal, and even though it's outside, it's like a covered porch area, so you're not going to get wet either. And there's plenty of rain at Disneyland Paris. So now we're going to do some top tips to help maximise your time in Disneyland Paris. Tip number one, and if you watched any of my videos before, you'll be sick of me repeating it, but the reason I do it is because it makes the biggest difference. Arrive at the park before it opens so you can get in and be first on the ride. Especially if you're staying at one of Disney's hotels and you can get in an hour before the general public are allowed into the park. You queue up for Big Thunder Mountain at that time, you're going to have a really short queue, and you might even be able to ride it a couple of times. Now the thing is, not every ride is open during magic hours. Big Thunder Mountain is, Phantom Manor here is at the weekend, but in the weekdays it doesn't open until 10 o'clock. Other rides that are open most days in magic hours, Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin and Peter Pan. So, you know, there are not as many attractions open, but you can definitely get 2 or 3 done in the magic hour. The next tip is make sure you download the Disneyland Paris app. The main use of the app, I would say, is to check the wait times on all the attractions throughout the day. There is a board in the centre of Disneyland Park where you can go and check the rough attraction times, but it's much more convenient if you've got it on your phone. And although you can't take the times that they specify as gospel, it does give you a relative idea of how busy each attraction is. You can also book and pay for rides using Premier Access on your phone. Another tip, it might seem obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes because you're going to be doing a lot of walking in Disneyland. To give you an idea, over the 2 full days we've been here, we've clocked about 50,000 steps. So each day you're kind of getting on for half a marathon. So your feet are going to be very sore. So get those trainers on. Now, if you've never been to Disneyland Paris before, you may be one of those people who think, I don't want to know anything about it till I arrive, I want it all to be a surprise. And whilst I can understand that, I would say you really need to do just a little bit of research before you turn up, because anytime at any Disney park anywhere in the world always needs at least a little bit of planning so you can get the most out of your time here. So just even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, see if you can get a map online and just have a look roughly where the rides you might want to go on are, where the different lands are located, because the one thing you don't want to do is waste lots of time when you're there crisscrossing the land when you're there, and you know, you're getting confused and you're getting more tired. Make a list of the priority rides that you really want to go on, have a general plan of the order you're going to do them in, and obviously you might not stick to the plan because when you're there one of the rides might have a longer wait than you thought, or one of them might have a shorter ride and you just want to go on it. But it's definitely good to have a plan before you come. Thanks for watching the video, and we hope if you've never been to Disneyland Paris and you're going to come for the first time, we hope it's been of some use and you're going to have a great time here at Disneyland Paris.